Hi everyone, welcome to another tutorial video. In our today video, it will be a continuation of the previous video where we basically get the Landsat 9 satellite image data and we plot it using Python. In that case, we use a specific library called GEE map to make the plot, but in this case we're going to use Matplotlib not only to generate the plot but also to save the figure. So let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a new Jupyter notebook. In this case we're gonna call it Landsat 9 part 2. So the first thing that we need to do in this is to import the libraries. So we're going to use the Google Earth Engine library. We are also going to use the library Matplotlib, pyplot, SPLT. We're gonna use NumPy as NP, and also we're going to use these two ones to generate the to get the image from the Google servers. So it's called bytes.io, and this one is just to read the image. Import image with capital I. And to download the image, we are going to use request. Okay, so first thing first that we need to do is to authenticate, because we are using Google, so we need to start this authentication process. Initialize again. So I already have the information. So if you don't, what you need to do is once you run these two lines, it will give you a box. It will appear you like a box where you need to paste the authorization link. So it will create like another tab in Google where you need to enable all the options and then accept and continue with your Google account, and then copy and paste the authorization factor in a box that will be will appear over here. You put you paste it over here and hit enter, and that will be the solution. So how to solve that problem. In my case, I already did it, so I previously did it, so that's why it didn't appear in my account. So now what we need to do is get the image. So we did this before in the previous video. So let's get the Landsat 9 satellite image. So again, as I mentioned previously, so we are going to use Landsat 9 this one over here, the level 2 from the collection 2 and type 1. So it's basically this one over here. We can select Python. We're going to use these scales. So let me just paste it over here and run it. And also we are going to use the same region of interest that we used in the previous video. So let's use the same rectangle. So I'm going to create this rectangle in this Google Earth Engine library. So geometry, rectangle, and then we need to pass the coordinates. It will be the minimum latitude, sorry, the minimum longitude, following by the minimum latitude, then the maximum longitude, and the maximum latitude for this rectangle. We just created the rectangle. Now let's get the Landsat image. So let's get the least cloudy image. We did this in the previous video. So first we need to, if we go back to the link, we need to call this collection. So let me just copy and paste it over here. Then let's filter to bounds. We are going to pass this specific rectangle a region of interest that we previously defined. Then we are going to filter the date, and we are going to use the whole year of 2023. And January, and the end will be 23, 12, 31. And then we are going to sort the image based on the cloud cover. And we're going to get the first one. So we're going to, here we are getting the least cloudy satellite image. And we're getting the, by using this first at the end. So now what we need to do is scale the image. So a scale Landsat 9 will be equal to, let's call this function. And inside the function, this function receives the image, which is this one over here. Then let's select, because we are focusing in the on the RGB channels. So let's actually RGB bands, which is the RGB red, green, and blue. If I go to bands, so it will be red, green, and blue. So band 4, 3, and 2. So we can do this by calling the scale image, then select, and we're going to select based on those specific bands. So 4, 3, and 2. So in the same order, this one should be the third, this one the second. And now what we need to do is clip the satellite image based on this rectangle that we created before. So it will be, let's call this variable and the function clip, and we are going to pass this rectangle that we created. And now we need to make the plug, we need some parameters, so some visualization parameters. Actually, if you go back here, so you will see this is the visualization parameter that we will apply. So we are selecting those 3 bands in this order, and we are applying this scale. So we are going to use just the minimum value and the maximum value of 0.3 and 0 and 0.3 from the surface, the scale surface reflectance. Then what we need to do is we're creating this image. So let's define some of these image parameters. Where we need to specify the region, which is this Manhattan variable. So we are using this Manhattan variable. Then we are specifying the dimensions of the image. In my case, so let's use 512. So 512 by 512. And the format that we want to download the image. I forget the quotation marks. The format will be PNG. And we need to also use the visualization parameter. So let's just pass this variable visualization. I didn't run this, that's why. Okay, so now what we need to do is get in the image URL, URL, and it will be the click image. So this one over here, and then we are going to get that specific snap of this clip image, thumb, by using this function URL, and it will be image parameters. So what we are doing over here is getting this specific link where basically the image, we use this specific function to create the image based on this, passing this information, this parameter, where we are taking the actual satellite image and we are clipping the image, or based on this, or basically focusing in just this region which we generated before. And also we are giving some dimensions in the format that we want to get the image. And yes, so if we want to, once we pass this, it basically gives us like an URL of the image, as I showed you before. If we want to increase, let's say, the dimensions, so let's say 1024. Let me rerun this again, click here, so you will see a bigger image. This again, this is the RGB image. So now what we can do is create a Python code that download the image or gets the image, and we can use this by creating this variable response using the library request and using the function get, and we pass this URL. And now what we can do is we technically save the image, so this URL, the content, into this response variable. What we need to do is create, actually, like, get the image by using the library image open. And now let's use this function bytes io, where we imported before. And over here we get the content of the URL. So content, sorry, it should be response. So now what we need to do is, we got this, as you can see, this is the image. It contains the image, and so let's avoid this error. So what we can do is just get in the array. So let's get the RGB array, which is let's get just a NumPy array, img. So over here we are just saving the array. So if I plot the shape, you'll see it has this specific shape And now what we can do is develop the figure. So plot it using Python. So plt figure. Let's plot that image here. It will be fig size equal to 8 comma, let's say, seats. Plt show to show the image. And then we can use plt im show to show that specific image RGB array. We plot the image, the plt. We can put like a title. Let's say clipped Earth engine image of Manhattan. So Manhattan. And if I plot this, so you will see this specific, basically the image with a title. We can increase the image if we want to. You see, we want to get rid of the axis, so let's do this. Let's click here, plt axis. So let's turn them off. So off, you see just the image. And if you want to download the image, you can say fig. And let's say we want to use Landsat, let's say, yes, Manhattan. It will be a PNG image with a DPI of 300. And if we open, so you will see those are the two Jupyter notebooks. This one is the latest one that we are modifying. And you will see this image. So now if I open, you will see the Manhattan view with the title. You can put the axis if you want to, and so on. So this is a way to download the data. Also, what you also can do is just open the link, right click, and you can copy the image or save the image if you want to. However, if you want to like put a title at this label in the axis, or maybe the coordinates, whatever, so I recommend you to use this Matplotlib library from Python. I hope that this video was useful, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video.